we talk about science fiction, I think we turn straight away to alien life forms. And that, of course, that goes right back, I think, to H.G. Wells with The War of the Worlds and his fantastic Martians. It really does come down from that. Why all the aliens are necessarily hostile, I do not know. After all, if there are beings up there that are intelligent enough to be able to cross interstellar space and reach the Earth, they will know a great deal more than we do, and there's no reason at all why they should be hostile. I suspect that they won't be. Go back now more than 100 years, we come to Jules Verne, the great French storyteller, and there's no doubt at all his 1865 story, From the Earth to the Moon, had a very great influence. He got it wrong, he used a space gun and you can't do that, but nevertheless it put the idea into people's minds.
12, 11, 10, 9, ignition sequence start.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, all engine running.
I think people have always been interested to find out whether there is in fact life beyond the Earth. At the moment, we have no definite proof. The only life we definitely know to exist is on the Earth. Whether it's intelligent or not is not for me to say. But I think the incentive is there, you know, because after all, if we could prove there's life elsewhere, it'll tell us so much more about life on our own world. I think it's fair to say that we imagine that all life is based upon the same kind of material as ourselves, mainly, of course, the atom of carbon. There are other atoms that can make some kind of attempt at joining up to make molecules of that kind, such as silicon, but they don't do it very well, and really, life as we know it is carbon-based. Now, it may well be there's some entirely different kind of life form that's not carbon-based, and maybe it's a pure uranium and breathing pure carbon dioxide. But if that is so, then all our modern science is wrong, and there's no proof of that. We've got to bear something else in mind, you know, and that is the time scale. After all, man is a newcomer to the terrestrial scene. There may be many other civilizations that have been born, developed, and probably died out before we started. After all, the sun is not a first-generation star. It's a possibility, I suppose. And after all, will a civilization develop as far as it can, technically, and then destroy itself? We might easily be in danger of doing that now. How are we then to search for life beyond the Earth? Well, there are two ways we can do it. First of all, we can actually try to pick up the rhythmical signals from other civilizations. And that's by no means impossible. It could be done by means of radio. And of course, that's been going on now for a long time, ever since the 1960s, when they tried the Project Ozma, often known as Operation Little Green Men. And so far, the results have been entirely negative, but although it's a very long shot, the chances are not nil, and it just might happen. Just suppose we could pick up a rhythmic signal from some radio astronomer. That's going to be light years away. The nearest stars that are at all like the Sun are Taurus Cetus and Epsilon Eridani, and they're about 11 light years away. Therefore, if we could pick up a rhythmic message from Taurus Cetus, it's going to be 11 years old. If we send out a message now, in 1997, it gets there in 2008, if some nice, kind radio astronomer replies straight away, you get a reply in 2019, and that is a total delay between sending out your message and getting your answer of 22 years, which is even slower than the post office, and quick-fire repartee is going to be rather difficult. And certainly, if we picked up a radiation from, shall we say, a planet orbiting the system of Rigel, well, that's 900 light years away. It wouldn't prove there's life there now. It might prove there was life there 900 years ago. We are sending probes into space. Pioneer 10 and Pioneer 11, and the two Voyagers, they are now going out into space. And eventually we will lose them. We've lost the Pioneers now, of course. And they carry plaques. They may indicate where they come from. And people have said to me, isn't it rather dangerous to send messengers into space? And my view is, no, it isn't. For one thing, they won't get anywhere for a good many million years. And secondly, if they were picked up by an alien race that could contact us, that race would know far more than we do, and it wouldn't come in war, it would come in peace. We don't really know how life began. We think it began in our oceans in the dim and distant past. There is, of course, a theory that it was brought to Earth from outer space. That really goes back to Svante Arrhenius, the earlier century Swedish chemist, who won a Nobel Prize. He believed that life had been brought here by meteorites. Much more recently, people like Fred Hoyle suggested it may have been brought here by comets. Well, it's an interesting theory. And until we know exactly how life began, we can't say. My own personal view is that probably life on Earth began on Earth, but I think that the idea of being brought here from afar raises more problems than it solved. So far as science fiction is concerned, it does have quite an effect upon people, and inevitably there are some people who take it seriously and maintain we have already been visited by flying saucers or aliens living among us. All I can say is that, as we approach the millennium, all the crackpots are coming out of the woodwork. And in the ordinary way, it's perfectly harmless, but I would like to believe this, but frankly, there's nothing in it. All kinds of ideas have been put forward. Are we unique? Are there other forms of life in the universe? Every time man has tried to set himself up on a pedestal, we've been very rudely knocked off it. First of all, we thought the Earth was central, in the centre of the universe. That wasn't so. Then we thought the sun was important. It isn't. Then we thought the galaxy was important. Then it isn't. Then we thought our local group of galaxies was important. And they're not. You see, we are very insignificant. And if we say, we are unique, we are the masters of the universe, frankly, I think that's not only stupid, I think it's very conceited. I don't believe it.